My name is Pano Anthos. I'm the founder of XRC Labs, and we feel very blessed for you all to be here today. This is always a work in process. We are a startup. I thought I would take a couple minutes and describe a little bit about what we're doing. Some of you have heard this before, so we apologize in advance, but we'll move quickly and get to the important people, which are the startups. So we are focused on design thinking as our core principle by which we're driving this entire process of innovation. The customer is what matters more than anything else. And we use design thinking and the Parsons design process to influence a ton of what we're doing, from selection through ultimate graduation. We look at sustainability and a number of core values driving our decision making. We really do believe that rising tide floats all boats, and we want to give back to the community in any way we can to help foster the great values that many of you embrace. Our approach, however, if you will, is a boot camp. It isn't pretty. The word that we've heard many times about some of us, certainly not me, is tough but fair. And our approach is just that. It's tough. It's 12 to 30 weeks of just a grind and push and hard and move. Time is not anyone's friend in the accelerator and startup world. We do about 20 companies a year, and as you'll see, we all of a sudden now have this thing called a 50-week option, which we'll talk about in a minute. The ecosystem continues to grow and expand, and it covers not just technology companies or retailers, but also hard goods companies like Bose, who's a new sponsor, as well as CVS in the consumer goods industry and CPG space. Our venture community is growing dramatically as our startups get further investment. And we're also setting up, which we'll talk about in a minute, a growth fund. We've talked about this in the past. And that growth fund is now following the winners. We have more and more success in the markets by which we have the opportunity to continue to support our startups well after they have graduated. The ecosystem itself continues to expand, and we have 61 funded companies right now. We've looked at about 4,000. And one of the coolest parts of all this is naturally we're investing in over 41% of the companies where women are the CEOs. And it is, again, that index is not, we're not being intentional in saying we need to index this up. It's just happening very naturally, and we're very excited about that. The growth also is global. We have Indian companies now part of our mix, companies from Hong Kong, companies from Chile, from Brazil, and that continues to expand as innovation expands globally as well. And their focus continues to be very similar to what it's been in the past. We're again very supportive of our founding sponsors. This space, Parsons provides their space to us at no charge and has offered a lot of services that we continue to take advantage of. And then Kurt Salmon, the Accenture team, now owned by Accenture, has been very early on, an early founder, and more importantly, continued supporter of the program. As I said, the sponsors continue to grow, and they continue to grow not just at the big level, so to speak, but also at the lower levels, smaller brands that can move very fast and implement technology at light speed. And now, the new model. So we're going to move to a rolling program. We've learned the hard way that forcing every startup into our rhythm is not necessarily, it's kind of sometimes putting that square peg in the round hole. So what we'd rather do is give us and them more opportunity to engage when they're ready. And so that model is now a rolling admissions process. We will still do demo days like this one, and we will do it, though, with a different cadence for a brand, which might take 40 weeks to develop. You know, supply chains are what they are. Brands can't be built in a day. And then secondly, technology companies, which can move much more quickly and will accelerate much more quickly. So that rolling model just smooths out everything, gives everyone a little more time to breathe, but at the same time, the pressure to succeed. Now, all of this, the reason we're here, the reason you're here, is you have better things to do with your time than just hang out. But it's the challenges in retail that are driving us right now, and that middle continues to evaporate. Now there's a bankruptcy watch. If you've been following the newsletters, there's now a retail bankruptcy watch. And like the stock ticker going red, green every month, these companies seem to change in their bankruptcy likelihood. The sad part is it's true, and the second part of it is it's hitting not only the middle in the traditional sense, but new economies like rental and secondary markets are even intruding into the discount world. So, why? Well, the customer is just not the customer it used to be. And if we don't get that and use design thinking to understand where we're going to be lost like, frankly, Sears and a number of other large retailers who are essentially circling the drain right now. And why is because they're not keeping up with this change in consumer behavior. And frankly, customers are getting more and more pissed off, as we know. And we're seeing that market share erode dramatically in many, many retailers. So we come back to this. I can't emphasize this enough. This is a culture problem, folks, not a technology problem. We will show them in a minute. We've got tons of technology available. Innovation's up, any way you want to call it, but the culture of retail needs to change. And so we spend a lot of time with our sponsors and even guests working through this process of how do you learn how to fail? How do you learn how to not perfect what you're doing and get product out there? And how do you learn? Are you learning by insisting the customers learn from you, or are you learning from the customer? It's a very different mindset and psychology. That right now, some retailers feel like they don't need to worry about it, others are scared to death, but overall we're seeing a dramatic increase in concern that they're out of touch with where the consumer is and where the consumer is going. So we've got lots of companies here. And by the way, there's probably 2,000 companies at least in the technology space. Ask any head of IT or head of strategy how many emails they get a day from some company pitching them on, we can give you a 10%, 20%, 5% return on your, whatever you want to call it. They're out there. But the culture doesn't really allow for innovation to breed quickly. So what is happening, and we continue to talk about this, and our companies reflect this as we select them. So we're very thematic in how we approach this. The store-to-consumer is a serious trend that is going to take a lot of retailers down. And that is because time is the most valuable commodity on earth. No one's got more of it. All of us have the same amount. And if you only have 24 hours, you're going to be even more deliberate about how you use that time. And walking into an undifferentiated store is not how you're going to spend your time. You're already not spending your time that way. So how do retailers move forward on this? So we're going to show you a company called Swivel, and they've got a really interesting way of thinking about time and managing your time in the area of hair. Then we have stores experience. And by the way, when we talk about this, we are not talking about this. Putting in a floating, water slide in a store. I mean, it's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. That is entertainment. It is not experience. And by experience, we're focused on things like the American Girl store, where the rabid nature of these girls is insanity in a positive way, that you actually have to slow them down in their purchasing behavior, right? Where other store do you say, no, I'm sorry, you need to slow down, you can't buy that much, slow down now. So that whole notion of experience needs to be contained in content, not simply in gimmicks. And so Terra Kaffe and Arthur are two examples where we're going to be focused on the notion of how do you build a real experience and dialogue with your customer. And then platform. You're selling everything, not just your own stuff today. And you're going to be selling products or leveraging products like Brain of the Store to understand how your store is performing, and then new platforms that are out there to change the way something like gardening might be done. And store services. This is a big one, folks. It's growing dramatically, and it's important for us to understand. And we're going to be introducing a company called Chute today that's thinking about how to leverage a really old, time-honored tradition differently. And then stores plant. We've heard it before, we're saying it again, that the future of the store is a little manufacturing plant. And both LLABB and Nabla Ascent will be talking about that in some detail, both at the supply chain level and manufacturing level. And with the next two items, I want to bring up Holly Zimmerman, our Managing Director of the Brand Lab, to talk about wellness and store.
Thank you. Wellness has emerged as a channel and an industry unto itself, receiving more funding than any other space in the venture community. We're finding that no matter where you go, there's wellness companies trying to solve problems for your body, your mind, and your soul. It is much more than healthcare. The channels are morphing and creating a whole new set of problems for today's retailers. Companies such as Hims have benefited from the internet and teledoctors to bring consumers help with problems that were once considered taboo from the comfort of their own home. and on demand. We're also seeing meditation, an industry unto itself today, with companies such as Calm earning unicorn status. These companies, many of them started as a single service, and then they evolved to become vibrant communities. And today, we're finding companies evolve into marketplaces that are creating a trusted place for consumers to buy and discover products. And they see them in places that are in the right context, surrounded by help that they need and information that they're looking for. Store as a discovery, 2.0. And what we mean by this is you've been hearing about stores as a place for discovery for years. But now we've seen a new place for stores as a place for discovery, which is in the mass channels. Mass retailers are really renegotiating the position of large brands owned by multinational companies who are now in jeopardy of losing their valuable shelf space. Essentially, mass retailers are looking for ways to bring new demos and excitement into their stores, and traditional brands have not innovated for years. They're failing to give consumers a reason to come into the store for discovery and excitement. So mass retailers such as drugstores, Target, Walmart, they're doing something about it, and they're working aggressively to find new categories and new companies to bring in for consumers. We launched the Brand Lab at XRC with this in mind. We sit between retailers, emerging brands, and multinational large CPG companies to help solve their unique problems around the same issue. For retailers, we've been excited to have worked with CVS Health and seen them make tremendous progress working with startups directly. Basically throwing away the rule books in place and breaking down barriers, they've been able to speak the language that startups want to hear and find innovative ways to merchandise their products with adjacencies that help bring the entire aisle to life in a store setting. Established brands and startups both have their own set of issues. Startups have finally capitulated that no, they cannot survive online alone. And they all, with really no exceptions, have acknowledged that they need retail in order to scale. So for startups, we've worked to help them in ways around partnerships with large CPG companies, or in the case of CVS Health, in offering potential distribution opportunities. Established brands have a big challenge ahead. For decades, they've operated under the assumption that big brands, global brands, and billion-dollar businesses would help them bring and build a moat around scale and keep their competitors at bay. But today, the reality is that brands are fragmenting, categories are smaller, and the new reality is that they need to learn to think small. At XRC, we're helping these companies think about ways to work externally with innovation programs and augment what they're already doing inside. We're also working to introduce them to startups, and we've come up with some clever and really innovative ways for them to partner, invest, or potentially walk before they run as they get to know which companies might make sense for acquisitions down the road.
Thank you, Holly. We're very excited about the Brand Lab and what's going on there. It's a massive industry ripe for disruption, and we're really excited that you're spearheading it. We've got some great partners like CVS working with us on that. The team continues to grow, and we're very excited by that growth. We've now also added the capability around growth itself. We'll be talking about that more. The startups are feeling that. Steve is the latest addition. He came out of Uber, and we're very excited to have him on board in addition to the team that continues to grow. So with that, I'm going to turn over to Carly and Holly, sorry. And one explanation, after the event itself, the startups will be here, and we invite you to kind of hang out and mingle with them. There is no downstairs per se. It'll all be here. Carly Ann?
Thank you, panel and Holly. Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us to celebrate Cohort 7. So I'm really excited to jump right into the startups. They've made a lot of progress in the past 14 weeks, and I will let you hear it from them firsthand. So first up, I would like to introduce you to Swivel Beauty. So Swivel is an app that helps women of color with textured hair find skilled hairstylists at their convenience. And I personally have swiveled yesterday in preparation for Demo Day, and it's been great. And I'd like to invite Jahan Thompson up to tell you a bit more about Swivel Beauty.
Thanks. Good morning. I am Jahan Thompson, the co-founder and CEO of Swivel Beauty. Swivel is an online marketplace for women of color with textured hair who need a convenient way to find skilled stylists they can trust. We take users from looking to booking the right stylist for them in just a few clicks. But before we get into it today, I want to show you a quick clip that aired on the Today Show.
It may go down as the worst live TV makeover ever, and the internet is going nuts over it. This segment was called 1 Minute Summer Hair with 3 models.
Now we have Miss Malia.
But one in particular seemed to get a raw deal. Malia McNaughton looked gorgeous to start with, sporting a natural curly do. But her look turned into a nightmare.
We want to kind of try to focus it to one side of the head. Oh, like a side, like a side. Yeah.
Models before hair went from looking gorgeous to ridiculous, and the internet went bananas. What a disaster, one person wrote. OMG, she didn't know anything about natural hair, went another. I have seen the wind create a better style, said one viewer.
Okay, so cringeworthy, right? Can you imagine how this poor woman felt on national television? It's mortifying. And it's clear this stylist had no idea how to work with textured hair. And this creates a frustrating problem for women like Tiffany. Tiffany is like a lot of women with textured hair. She has a hard time finding the right stylist that she can trust. And worse, she has a hard time finding the right stylist for all the different styles she likes to wear. Yes, this is the same person in every single picture. And the reason for that is that not every stylist can do every style. Beauty schools simply don't train stylists to work with coarser, curlier hair types. They're often taught only to perform services on straighter textures. But there are stylists out there who have gotten that additional training, who do know how to work with textured hair, like Ebony. Ebony is an independent stylist who rents a chair in Midtown Manhattan. Ebony can do many styles, but she is absolutely killer at weaves and extensions. And the clients who have found her rave about her. But she has a hard time attracting new business, and she can't fill her chair. What if we gave Ebony a site to show off her work to customers who are looking for her services so they can find and book her? Enter Swivel Beauty. When I first met Ebony, she jumped at the chance to join our platform because we were the solution she had been looking for. She needed a way to market directly to her target demographic so clients like Tiffany could find her. So when Tiffany wanted to book extensions, a service which, believe it or not, starts at $250, she was able to book an appointment with Ebony. And now Tiffany can find the right stylist for all the different styles she likes to wear in one place. Let me show you how it works. Through our personalized search features, in-depth reviews, and seamless booking, we take a process that was once frustrating and terribly inefficient, and we make it simple and satisfying. And since we've launched in the last 2 years, we've grown from a handful of stylists on our platform to more than 350 in the New York City area alone. And we take a commission on every appointment booked, generating revenue since day one. In the last few months, we've seen a rapid uptick in growth, and we're now growing more than 50% month over month, thanks to new marketing initiatives that are paying off. But search and discovery is only the beginning for Swivel. As we expand nationwide, we also plan to expand our revenue streams. First, creating technology that allows our stylists to sell products to customers when they're in the chair, and building out the tools to support their business. And given the rich data we're amassing with every appointment booked through our platform, we also plan to launch our own product line, truly creating the first ecosystem for textured hair, supporting the client both in and out of the salon. It is a growing $15 billion industry that's part of the larger $44 billion salon services industry. For women of color, hair care services are a need to have. And so we have this big vision, and we put together the right team to execute on it. I spent nearly 10 years working as a magazine editor at top women's lifestyle brands, including Oprah, Marie Claire, and Glamour. So I know how to create content that resonates with our users. My co-founder is a former corporate lawyer with experience in technology law, and she now oversees our stylist acquisition. Our lead engineer left Microsoft last year to join our team, and we recently brought on a marketplace advisor who was the CTO of Single Platform, a marketing tool for restaurants, which sold for more than $100 million in just 3 years. So we know that we have the right team, and we're addressing a big need in a big market. Women of color spend 9 times more on beauty than any other ethnic group, and Swivel is helping them spend it better. Thank you so much for listening. Again, I am Jahan Thompson, the co-founder and CEO of Swivel Beauty. At Swivel, it's more than just hair.
Thank you, Jahan. All right, next up is Terra Kaffe. So Terra Kaffe is a bean-to-cup espresso machine that's elevating the way you experience coffee with one touch of a button. And now I'd like to invite Sahan Dilmagani to tell us more about Terra Kaffe.
Woo! Good morning. We're a coffee company, so we have to be energized. Good morning again, everyone. My name is Sahan Dilmagani. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Terra Kaffe. Terra Kaffe is a new wave coffee brand that has developed a new bean-to-cup espresso machine and a fresh coffee subscription service that perfectly marries quality, sustainability, and convenience. Terra Kaffe is on a mission to elevate the coffee brewing experience, and we're kicking that off by serving the growing segment of US espresso consumers. Now, let's meet Amanda, who's one of those consumers. She starts her mornings in her lovely Williamsburg loft. She works all day at her fast-paced tech startup, and she loves starting her mornings with a cup of specialty coffee. But what options does she really have to brew it? Well, she can brew a cup of coffee from pods that are currently generating 3 billion plastic water bottles worth of waste per year. Or she can grab a cup from her local cafe, thereby spending a small fortune equal to north of $200 a month and having to wait amongst that chaotic morning rush hour crowd. Of course, Amanda can also always try her hand at a manual espresso machine like the Rocket E61 shown here for the low price of $2,700. It's quite simple. All she has to do is wait for the dual boilers to preheat to 195 degrees, dial in her grinder to 250 microns, tamp the espresso puck with an even 30 pounds of pressure, pre-infuse, run her shot, measure yield, purge the steam, one froth the milk, pour it out, purge again. And she wants to make a cup for her partner, so she's gonna grind the beans, tamp the puck, pre-infuse, run the shot, spill the cup, start again, and okay, I'll stop there. I think you guys get it. It's a little complicated. Enter Terra Kaffe. Terra Kaffe's espresso machine brews anything from an espresso to a cappuccino with the touch of a button. And at $745 is a third the price of the competition. Terra Kaffe is the first digitally native espresso machine brand on the market. And with that, we resonate with the new wave coffee consumers that are increasingly discerning in the brands that they buy into. The average age of our incumbents, 85 years old. With that, Terra Kaffe is also the fresh new face that has demystified and cracked the code in brewing specialty coffee. So how does it work? Well, this is really quite simple. It comes with a built-in grinder, automated milk frothing, and push-button option for self-cleaning. It's all controlled by our in-house designed user interface, and what that means for you as a user is you just select your favorite beans, you pick your preferred milk, and you push one button to execute the entire brewing process. To offer this product at an accessible price point and have a high-touch customer experience, we're kicking that off by selling direct to consumer. Let's talk about the consumer, specifically American consumers. Our tastes have changed. We're consuming more coffee than ever before, on average 3.2 cups a day. Or if you ask anyone in my family, that number is closer to about 13. We're also drinking more espresso coffee than ever before. That climbed 4 times in just the last 8 years. And lastly, we're consuming more sustainably. Over 70% of consumers are seeking more eco-friendly brewing alternatives. Since we launched at the end of 2018, we sold out our first production run with a customer acquisition cost of $46. We also piloted partnerships with key brands like Burrow, Outdoor Voices, and Equinox to sample the ease and quality of our machine. And it also allows us as a direct-to-consumer brand to grow our business both in online and offline channels. To become a full turnkey solution for these partners to build an experience, we also launched our B2B coffee subscription service last month, with our B2C subscription service slated to launch next month. Our vision begins with sustainably brewed specialty coffee available to anyone, anywhere, at any time. That means specialty coffee is no longer reserved to your neighborhood barista. If you want Stumptown, Blue Bottle, or any of the New Wave brands, you can get it at home at the push of a button and for pennies on the dollar. From there, Terra Kaffe is going to own the entire ecosystem, meaning from machine to beans, from espresso to drip, and from home to office. Now, with our mission to elevate the coffee brewing experience, we're tackling a $46 billion market. Our product category in particular, the super automatic espresso machines, has roughly 300,000 units sold each year, and that means there's an estimated $220 million of segmented market value that we're ready to capture right now. So, the brains behind the beans. First and foremost, we're all a group of passionate coffee enthusiasts. I myself was working in the hardware space, and both my experience in product as well as my love of coffee brought me to starting Terra Kaffe. Our co-founder and chief creative officer has worked for over a decade for what is effectively the red antler of Europe, and our head of growth and marketing has advised 70+ companies, ranging from pre-seed to Fortune 500, on their lead generation and digital marketing strategies. In closing, Terra Kaffe's team, traction, and pipeline has positioned us perfectly to take over an exploding market, but with stagnant incumbents. So our mission to elevate the coffee brewing experience is resonating with the modern consumer. And with that, Terra Kaffe will reshape the new wave coffee ecosystem. Thank you all for your time. Again, my name is Sahan Dilmagani, and just as a quick aside, we will be doing a raffle giveaway of one of our espresso machines at TK1, so make sure you stop by our table at the end and drop your business card. Thanks again, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you, Sahan. All right, up next is LLABB. So LLABB is a local on-demand manufacturing platform that creates high-quality accessories at the same cost as offshore manufacturers. And now I'd like to invite Lane Tab to tell us a bit more about LLABB. You're welcome.
Thanks, Carly-Ann. Good morning, everybody. My name is Lane Tab. I am CEO and founder of LLABB. So what is LLABB? LLABB is an on-demand manufacturing platform that brings product to market 51 times faster than traditional manufacturing at a comparable cost to Asia with no overstock. Pretty great. I'd like you to meet Brooke. Brooke is the head of product at a major accessories brand, and she's constantly plagued by pressure from her boss, her factory, and consumers. Her boss wants product 12 months out, and she has to guess what that's going to be. Her factory wants higher and higher minimums and has a shady supply chain. And her consumer wants transparency, sustainability, and product that's of the now. This costs her millions of dollars in overstock. Worldwide, this is a $300 billion problem with overstock, off-price, and destruction of merchandise that LLABB is going to solve. How does LLABB work? LLABB brings proprietary software, intelligent machinery, and up-trained hand craftsmen in an American facility to bring product from click to consumer's door in 48 hours. Let's talk about the lab difference. Let's walk through it. Our old Asian factories are 8 months lead time from design to store floor or to consumer. With 1,000 pieces per style per color, who really wants 1,000 yellow tote bags sitting in a warehouse? Their price is comparable to ours, and you have, with Asia, 50% leftover stock every season. Our on-demand system allows you to have no stock in a warehouse at all, ever. We go from new product ideas to your website in 7 days. Added value. We add value on the front-facing end for consumers because we are transparent, we have test and rollabilities, traceable supply chain, ethical workforce, and customization. That's what your customer wants now. What is our market size? Our market size is we're addressing a $28 billion mid-tier luxury accessories market for US brands worldwide. We have lofty goals at Lab. Our vision is to have 5 facilities in the next 7 years across the United States with 1,000 craftspeople, 2 million capacity of pieces, and $300 million in revenue. Really what we're most proud of is our impact on people. We're investing in our supply chain, but we're also investing in uptraining American workers to go from apprentices to full craftsmen in 3 years, going from minimum wage to a living wage in that 3-year time, which is pretty incredible. We're pretty passionate about it. I have an amazing team. I started my career at Donna Karan 20 years ago, and I fell in love with product. I've worked for some of the biggest brands in the world and have taken from napkin to store floor $1.6 billion worth of product. My co-founder, Marisa Zupan, has worked on consumer products for over 10 years for some of the biggest consumer brands, and we have a financial lead from YSL, and our chief product officer, Bennett Liberty, basically has been working in the industry for 40 years, and he's been a craftsman for 40 years, which is amazing. We're so happy to work with him, and my team totally rocks. We're really also happy to announce that we've gone through testing, and we're launching this month our first pilot. With our brand, we'll be having samples that you can look at, and we're launching live to consumers in May. We're hoping to have 3 more pilots finished by the end of 2019. Again, I'm Lane Tabb, CEO and founder of Lab. Join us for a new era in manufacturing. Thank you.
Thank you, Lane. All right, up next is Chute. So Chute is leveraging computer vision to improve customers' laundry experience while providing brands with valuable insights on what their customers are wearing. Let's hear more from Reed Makata.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Reed Makata, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Chute. Chute is bridging the gap between laundry and fashion. Meet Emma, a college student at Penn State. Between midterms, extracurriculars, and a part-time job, she barely has enough time to think, let alone do laundry, which explains why she's been wearing the same pair of sweatpants 6 days in a row. Laundry is a major inconvenience, and all that time spent lugging laundry around the building and scrounging for quarters takes time away from what she wants to be doing. Now let's meet James, a product manager at H&M. With new product lines coming out every week, James needs to keep his ear to the ground to determine trends and create products that he knows his customers will love. The problem is, brands and retailers know only what we're buying, not what we're wearing. Yet the clothes we wear are intimate indicators of who we truly are. What we wear reflects our favorite brands, our favorite styles, our spending habits, our lifestyle. For Emma, the solution is simple: a laundry pickup and delivery service. She schedules a pickup online, and within 24 hours, her laundry is delivered right back to her front door, folded and spotless. It is during this exact same process we can provide James the marketing intelligence he needs to find out who his customers truly are. Here's how it works. Chute partners with laundromats and dry cleaners that manage the entire wash and fold process. We're responsible for the last mile logistics and the marketing. Our deal with the cleaners is we funnel additional volume to them, and they give us discounted pricing on wash and fold and dry cleaning services. In the laundromats, we install integrated camera systems that connect to Wi-Fi. Right before a shirt is folded, we are able to scan, digitize, and send each item to the cloud, where we leverage computer vision to extract thousands of attributes, including brand, color, size, even SKU number. This isn't data from clicks and web traffic. This is data straight out of Emma's closet, which we use to build her a digital wardrobe. All of the clothes uploaded will be on not only on the Chute app can she schedule a pickup, but she can see all of her clothes in one place and have outfit selections curated just for her. But what the digital wardrobe really does is bring the retail experience right into her closet. Now James can showcase products right in line with her existing outfit selection. And through affiliate links, we can then use that revenue to pay for Emma's laundry. Chute has come a very long way from the side hustle out of our dorm room. On a shoestring budget, starting with a shoestring budget, we now have partnerships with multiple commercial laundromats that give us the effective capacity to process over 300,000 pounds of wash and fold. In order to bootstrap our technology and consumer segment, we also use our facility to process commercial contracts with camps, gyms, apartment complexes, and offices. Just in February, starting in February, we have generated over $7,500 in revenue, serviced over 220 customers, with an average gross margin of around 50%. After our pilot in Philadelphia, we plan to expand to different markets and license our technology to existing laundry delivery services across the country. With nodes across the nation, we can now provide James marketing intelligence to capitalize on emerging trends. But more importantly, we can use that revenue to pay for Emma's laundry entirely. When we mature, Chute will have successfully bridged the gap between the inherent fashion data within our laundry with the retailers and brands' need of knowing what's in our closet. Emma no longer spends time, effort, or money on a meticulous chore and uses the digital wardrobe to augment any decision she has on what to wear or what to buy. James also now has access to aggregate fashion data and is saving H&M millions in unsold inventory. Just beginning with laundry delivery, we're addressing a $40 billion market. But as we continue to grow, we will open up additional revenue streams in affiliate link marketing and marketing intelligence, worth $6.8 billion and $47 billion, respectively. Chute has given me the opportunity to surround myself with 40 of the smartest and most entrepreneurial minds I've ever met. Brian, my co-founder, is the master of execution and has recently stepped out of Penn State to pursue Chute full-time. Khalil has spent 2 summers on Wall Street and is using his analytical mindset to drive Chute towards success. Royce is the only sophomore I know that is writing his PhD thesis and will be focusing on efforts on Chute over the summer. Our mentors keep us humble, and without their experience, we would not be anywhere where we are today. We are excited to announce that we will be installing our first camera in our partner laundromat this month, and today we are seeking investors to close our $500,000 seed round so we can acquire more customers and further build out the technology. My name is Reed Moncada, co-founder and CEO of Chute, and we're rethinking laundry. Thank you.
Thank you, Reed. Up next is Brain of the Store. Brain of the Store is an artificial intelligence platform that enables retailers to provide a personalized shopper experience that is scalable across all stores. Let's hear more from co-founder and CEO of Brain of the Store, George Shaw.
Thanks, Carly-Ann. Good morning. I'm George Shaw, founder and CEO of Brain of the Store. real-time AI for brick-and-mortar retail. Brain of the Store is an artificial intelligence platform that leverages existing in-store cameras and other data to revolutionize customer experience in brick-and-mortar stores. In the same way that professional sports has been transformed by spatial AI that analyzes player movement, Brain of the Store will transform retail, enabling real-time orchestration of staff and product based on customer shopping behavior. We're creating a real-time AI coach for physical stores. Meet Paul. Paul enters an electronics store to make a purchase, but he can't find the help that he needs when he needs it. He ultimately does what many of us would do, and he pulls out his phone to finish his research and make his purchase online. That physical store he's in has just become a showroom for an online retailer. Then there's Joan, the manager of the store. She's focused on her numbers, and she knows that customers like Paul are hurting her conversion. She also knows that she should have enough staff on hand, but she has no way to ensure that her people are in the right place at the right time. If Joan could orchestrate her staff the way an NBA coach orchestrates players on the court, she could ensure that her staff is able to help customers like Paul. Then there's Joan's boss back at HQ. He's responsible for 1,000 store managers like Joan. And while he wants to help the numbers in Joan's store, he wants to do it in a way that's scalable, repeatable, and measurable across the entire fleet. What's clearly needed here is a system that can understand Paul's needs automatically and respond in real time with analytics and privacy controls in place. Enter Brain of the Store, a spatial intelligence platform that captures existing data and thinks about the best way to delight customers. Like a real-time AI coach, Brain of the Store calls the right play at the right time. Online retailers have enjoyed this kind of functionality for years, but brick-and-mortar retailers are largely blind to what happens in their stores. We're bridging that gap, creating powerful digital tools for physical stores. When Paul enters the electronics store, his journey is turned into data by algorithms running on the video from existing in-store surveillance cameras. Brain of the Store takes that data and identifies when Paul's journey changes from browsing to needing assistance, and then alerts the nearest available sales associate. Like a real-time AI coach, Brain of the Store calls the right play at the right time. Brain of the Store is not just limited to identifying customers that need assistance, though. The system can learn new behaviors, getting smarter over time and learning not just from one store, but from all the stores on the platform. And like a real brain, Brain of the Store has a memory. Captures data about every movement, interaction, sale, and loss for deep analysis after the fact. So why now? The short answer is data. Never before has so much data been available due to advances in technologies like computer vision, RFID, beacons, Wi-Fi, and others. We're in a data renaissance that's driving transformation in every industry, not just retail. We can look to professional sports to see what this transformation might look like. It's exciting what's happening in sports like football, soccer, basketball, where there's more data available about player movement and location than ever before. And that data, combined with the collective expertise of coaches, fans, and players, has changed the playing field. Second Spectrum, where I ran the data science team briefly, is now being used by every winning team in the NBA, as well as by the Clippers to enhance their digital broadcasts. Got the joke. Data, combined with the expertise of coaches, players, and fans, as well as spatial AI, has transformed professional sports, and the retail transformation is next. When you combine the collective expertise in retail that Brain of the Store has with the underlying data and spatial AI, you have a perfect storm of game-changing retail technology. Customers still love going into brick-and-mortar stores. In fact, over 85% of transactions still happen at a physical location. That doesn't even take into account the halo effect of the omnichannel world we live in, where the vast majority of transactions, whether they culminate online or off, have their roots in a brick-and-mortar store. Is there room for more technology? Retailers are already spending a lot on tech, after all. But there's a missing piece, the brain. And that piece is worth billions overall. Brain of the Store can meaningfully address lost sales due to poor customer service, as well as shrink due to shoplifting. And those two components alone are worth almost $6 billion a year to retailers. I'm really proud of the team we're building. Wanda Chung, my business partner, ran product at One Kings Lane, where she built the back-of-house systems that helped to drive their early success. Before that, she was at Gap, where she drove transformation in their inventory and distribution functions. Russell and Andor, the first two members of our technical team, bring with them a wealth of expertise and enthusiasm. And me, after leaving the MIT Media Lab, I went and joined Retail Next as their head of R&D, building the technology that helped to fuel their explosive growth. When I left Retail Next, I joined Second Spectrum and then went on to Intel. I founded Brain of the Store in January, entering XRC with little more than an idea. We're joined by an unbelievable advisory board. Paco Underhill, Ken Jackowitz, Mario Ciampi, Deborah Weinswig, and Joe Gallagher are already adding their incredible expertise and insights, helping to drive our product forward. And of course, Pano and the XRC Labs team. We're incredibly grateful to have this group of people joining us on this journey. Startups move fast. There are new developments nearly every single day. Just last week, in fact, we stood up our first in-store pilot and took in our first revenue from a strategic partner to integrate onto their platform. We're currently in a conversation with GS1 US to build a proof of technology to drive standards in location data. Later this week, we expect to deepen a relationship with another key strategic partner. So 3 months into this adventure, we're already making money, driving standards, and building the ecosystem. It's exciting stuff. If you'd like to follow along on our journey, please go to our website, brainofthestore.com, to get added to our mailing list. We love talking about what technology can do for retail, so please stop by afterwards and say hello. I'm George Shaw, CEO of Brain of the Store, real-time AI for physical retail. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Author. Author is the first outbound retailing platform for specialty brands and retailers that boost customer spending and also helps sales associates to maximize their time at work. Let's hear more from Lee Seven from Author.
Hello, my name is Lee Seven, co-founder of Author. Author turns your store team into the local marketers they were always destined to be. Just as digital marketers rely on inbound marketing solutions like HubSpot to bring online traffic to your website, now store associates can use Author's outbound retailing platform to bring offline customers back to your stores, increasing sales on average by 18%. Let's meet Audrey. Audrey is a store manager at an up-and-coming millennial brand. Audrey's store just got in the new spring line, and it is fantastic. But how is Audrey going to tell the world that? Well, right now, she's going to pull out a notebook or look at a spreadsheet and figure out who she can text, who she can call, who she can email. And even if she has that person's contact information, she's still going to have to take pictures on her own device and send those messages one by one. It's inefficient, it's untrackable, and quite frankly, it's ugly. Worse, now she has to teach this clunky system to the rest of her team. And Audrey knows she needed to solve this problem like yesterday, but she also knows that current clienteling solutions are not only extremely expensive, but have long integration times and even longer training sessions. Plus, most of them only make a difference when someone already walks into the store. Audrey and her team are great when someone walks in. What they need is foot traffic, and they need it now. Audrey needs Author, the outbound retailing solution that turns her and her team into effective marketers who can drive traffic and increase sales all on their own. Unlike current clienteling solutions, what Author does is give Audrey a way to dedicate off-peak hours to increasing sales by using her downtime to reach out to customers in a personalized way that digital marketing efforts still to this day fail to deliver. To get started, Audrey will install Author into her Shopify account, giving her access to all of the brand's customers, orders, and products across in-store and online. Once things are installed, that's when the party really gets started. Now what she can do is if a customer walks into the store and makes a purchase, Author will automatically update that record in her database. She can then supplement that record with details about their interaction and send a follow-up note via email or text. She can then set a reminder or assign a task to one of her associates to send another message 30 days later, either sending additional recommendations or inviting the customer to an event or special promotion. Now, not only has Audrey created an opportunity for authentic conversation, but she's made it even easier for the customer to click to purchase without sacrificing sales for her or her store. In just 6 months since launching Arthur, we are now working with over 8 customers across 30 different locations. And we are working with some of the top names in omnichannel retail, including MM Lafleur, Toto Cayo, Margot, and Koyo. And we have another 30 stores on their way via active pilots. And right now, the associates using Arthur are signing in every day, sometimes multiple times a day. In fact, one of our customers has already sent 6,000 messages across just 24 store associates. And that's what got them to over 18% in-store increase in sales. What we're really doing is taking retailers' largest cost driver and turning it into a valuable revenue-generating asset. Millions of store associates can become effective marketers overnight because Arthur enables them to create high-touch relationships with customers at a time when digital marketing is basically not getting any more responses and people are looking for really personal attention. We're currently focused on up-and-coming brands who currently spend about $10 billion on technology. That's about 500,000 retailers spending $200,000 a year on tech. And the crazy thing is, a third of these brands are built on just one of 3 platforms: Magento, WooCommerce, or Shopify, giving Arthur a very straightforward distribution channel. Before founding Arthur, I was the 12th employee at Zeal, launching their B2B product and introducing a new technology to over 500 spa practitioners. My co-founder, Janesh Shah, was a senior product architect at Rocker Labs, helping other non-technical entrepreneurs launch and bring their products to market. And today, I am excited to announce that Shopify has certified Arthur as the only outbound retailing platform in its app store, giving over 100,000 merchants access to Arthur with just one click. I'm Lee Seven, co-founder of Arthur, and we're turning your store team into a marketing machine. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. All right, next up is Eden. Eden is an indoor gardening platform that is enhancing the way that you experience nature by automating the art of growing plants. Let's hear more from Ryan Waltz about Eden. You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Ryan Waltz, and I'm the founder and CEO of Eden. At Eden, our mission is to change the way the world grows plants. We take the guesswork out of growing with our software-powered gardening platform. With our smart gardens and subscription seed pods, we enable anyone to easily and sustainably grow herbs, vegetables, and flowers indoors all year round. Now, there's no doubt about it. Plants are hard to grow. But people like you and me want to integrate plants into our everyday lives for a variety of reasons. For example, Abby, who wants fresh ingredients for her next meal. Or Mona, who loves the way that flowers smell and liven up her apartment. Or Jeremy, who's interested in growing his own food. Or the Lewises, who just want a fun and educational activity for the whole family to enjoy together. But keeping your plants alive and happy can be confusing, intimidating, and just a lot of work. Different plants require different levels of TLC, and it can be tough to keep track of which plant needs what level of lighting, watering, and plant food. So how do we keep our plants as happy as they make us? Enter Eden, a platform that gives you an instant green thumb, automating that TLC with innovative technology that takes care of plants for you. With Eden, you can have fresh herbs for that next meal, even if you've been traveling all week. You can grow beautiful flowers all year round with no expertise. You can become a master gardener and sustainably grow your own food, even while living in the middle of the concrete jungle. Or you can just create a healthy home environment and have a teachable moment with your kids, all with Eden. We take care of the 3 key aspects of gardening that everyone worries about. First, plant selection, which through our app, you can conveniently order new plants, have them shipped straight to your door, and then plant in just a snap with our seed pods and smart garden. Second is setup, which is handled by our smart gardens that know the optimal lighting, plant food, and watering for exactly what you're growing. And third is maintenance. Through our app, we guide you through topics like trimming and harvesting so you get the most out of your garden. And then when you're all done and ready, we even send new and exciting plants through our subscription service straight to your door. Our business model is simple. We sell our gardens for just $1.99. We use our software and app to guarantee your growing success. And then once you've harvested, we send you plants on our subscription service that's $20 a harvest 6 times a year. During our beta, we sold over 2,000 gardens and 36,000 seed pods. And we know through our servers that 81% of our customers are actively using their gardens and making additional purchases. We've also secured retail distribution from 3 globally recognized brands that are going to sell our products in 4,300 stores. Now, it's no wonder that consumers and retailers are so interested in what we're doing. There's a lot of trends impacting our market, like sustainability, healthy living, wellness, and self-care. And we are at the epicenter of these trends. Trends that are driving significant market growth, specifically with young professionals who on average are spending $413 a year in our market segment. That's up 600% in the last 6 years, contributing to an overall market size of $11 billion. And that's just in the US, and that's just people who are already gardening because they're comfortable with it. So we see the opportunity as being much larger. Because with Eden, we can integrate plants into any aspect of your life. The real opportunity is in our vision to create a platform for nature that's capable of growing over 300,000 different types of plants indoors. Ultimately, our goal is anything that's growing indoors is on the Eden platform, powered by our hardware and software, with plants being directly fulfilled and shipped by us. We're starting with the small garden today, and in the future, we'll build additional connected products for houseplants and even larger automated gardens. And because of our platform approach, we're already positioned to enter new markets like hotels, offices, restaurants, and schools. We're a team of engineering and marketing professionals that has managed over $80 million worth of products. We've worked in both consumer and retail and have deep technical expertise in product engineering, manufacturing, and horticulture. But most importantly, we've known each other for over 10 years, we've flattened the hardware learning curve, and we just do whatever it takes to get the job done. And the easy part of that job is sharing with you today that one of our strategic partners has placed an order for 10,000 gardens to incorporate into their new smart apartment complex. They see Eden and our technology as being an important part of the home of the future, and we couldn't be more excited than we are today to revolutionize the smart home with them. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Ryan Woltz. This is Eden and our mission to change the way the world grows plants by bringing them indoors. But I have one more thing. Today only, we're offering $30 off our new small garden if you use the above QR code or text the above number. Come down after the show and see a garden in person. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ryan. All right. So now last but not least is Nabla Ascent. So Nabla Ascent is leveraging autonomous drones to provide data analytics and inventory monitoring solutions in warehouses at a rate that is 10 times faster than manual solutions. So I'd like to invite Sankalp Arora to tell us more about Nabla Ascent. And they have an exciting live demo at the end as well, so stay tuned.
Oh, you ruined the surprise, Carly. Hello, I'm Sankalp Arora, co-founder of Nabla Ascent. For the presentation, we can keep the lights down. For the demo, we can have them back up. And we provide data gathering, inventory monitoring, and data analytics solutions for warehouses, yards, and factories. Let's meet Greg. Greg manages a $1 billion warehousing facility for an air cargo company. His big problem is, on an average twice a day, a cargo misses a flight because it is lost somewhere in the warehouse. And this is despite Greg has hired 8 people in a shift to continuously monitor inventory for him. And that is 24 people in altogether full-time, because it's a 24-hour operations warehouse. Now, only if Greg had a service that can reduce the inventory taking time from 8 hours that it takes right now, 8 to 40 hours sometimes, to under an hour, then the cargo would stop missing flights. And in order to reduce the time, automation is the natural go-to solution. And people have tried robots to solve the problem, but in a warehouse, you need robots to work without any GPS, around people, around assets as they are traveling. Technology that is not available off the shelf. That is where we come in. A fleet of drones from Nabla Ascent for the same warehouse that used to take 8 hours can take the inventory in just 15 minutes. And we take inventory in three different locations or types of locations. Vertical warehouses, where we use cameras to scan barcodes. Horizontal warehouses, where we use Bluetooth tags and RFID tags to identify inventory. And yards. Now in yards, drones can often give you a top view, but our drones can go close and identify containers, read their license and registration plates by coming in and giving you the front view of those containers. Let's see how they look in action. So this is an off-the-shelf drone using camera to take inventory. It uses cameras to map the environment around it, map obstacles, as well as, most importantly, take inventory. And as it is taking inventory and mapping the environment, it is also tracking assets in the environment to see if there are people around, so it can give way to people. And in this particular case, we reduce the inventory taking time from 2 hours, 2 people, and a forklift in a given aisle to just 8 minutes, which means that the workload reduction for inventory monitoring is around 60%. For customers that are big payback time is as low as 6 weeks, and again, reduction in inventory taking time from 8 hours to just 15 minutes. Our vision is that if a package is delivered to you in the future, to your house or to your business, our drones will have 4 touch points on that package. First, in the yard, to locate in which container that package is and manage the inventory of the yard. Second, in the distribution center, to see where it is in the warehouse and track it. Third, at the retail, at the store front, or at the back warehouse, to track the inventory at the storefront. And finally, when the skies open up, it will be delivered to you by a Nabla Ascent drone. Now, by the time the skies open up for delivery, we would have already done thousands of kilometers of fully autonomous flights inside warehouses and yards facilities. Our conservative estimate for TAM, just for inventory monitoring services, is $3.1 billion. And 3PL and distribution centers form the main core of the TAM, which is $2.5 billion. I'm humbled to be a part of an award-winning team with PhDs, doctoral candidates, and research engineers who have worked on national award-winning projects like this world's first full-scale, fully autonomous helicopter. This project won the Howard Hughes Award, the highest award in aviation in the US, and we were honored to share the pleasure of being nominated for the Collier Trophy, which is the same as the Apollo 11 crew. And then we miniaturized this technology to drones that can now identify objects of interest live, map them, and map them in high resolution. So for inventory, those objects of interest would be barcodes, pallets, boxes, and so on. And I'm also happy to announce we just closed our seed round with participants from ex-Google VC, ex-Facebook, and Uber co-founder, and of course, XRC Labs. And we have also are in the closing position of, in the last year, to close a pilot deal with one of the world's largest air cargo providers, and also won a few startup competitions last year. But more interestingly, within 10 days, we are launching our remote demo, where you can control our drones in our warehouses through a remote link. I would love to talk to you if you want to schedule one. And April 15th, we are also going on a countrywide demo tour starting from Ohio. So we are Nabla Ascent, and we provide analytics for the physical world, where we are not just taking inventory, we're tracking assets in the warehouse, we're tracking how people are moving, how space is being utilized, and providing actionable information. Not only that, we also provide 24/7 live inventory management, 10x on-demand faster cycle counts, on-demand operation insights, and an award-winning autonomy team to customize the solution for your facility. Now let's try and look at the demo live. This is Gitesh, one of our co-founders. And our tiny little mock warehouse. And you can see the app view, essentially what the robot is seeing. So the drone will identify boxes, label them with their SKU numbers, and some boxes may not have their SKU numbers on them. So it will just identify the box and register them that it found an inventory that doesn't have a SKU number on it. The drone at this point is fully autonomous. The inference is running completely online with no cloud connection. And as it is registering these boxes and their SKU numbers, it is highlighting them. And of course, this is a mini warehouse. These warehouses generally are 30 to 40 feet high in some cases, and reaching these inventory through a ground robot is almost impossible. So SKUs and boxes registered for the aisle, the drone lands back on its self-charging pod, which is not here, and the operation continues. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sankalp. All right, amazing. So that concludes our Cohort 7 demo day. Please give a huge round of applause for the Cohort 7 founders. And I'd just like to thank everyone again for joining us. It's a packed house. It's great to see familiar faces and a lot of new people joining our growing ecosystem. Special thanks to the mentors and sponsors who continue to support our ecosystem. And before we break off into the startup demos, I'd like to invite Pano back to the stage.
Thank you, Carly-Ann. Amazing teams, huh? And what a wide range of technologies. Most of them are raising money. We don't ask them to pitch in the actual pitch, but they are available to be chatted with over as we discuss the rest of this afternoon. I do, however, need to bring up a very important topic. Come on up, Carly-Ann. A special thank you to Carly-Ann Fergus. So there's Beyonce, and there's Drake, but there's only one Carly-Ann. And she will be the single name Carly-Ann in Parsons forever and ever. But we're very both happy and sad to announce today that Carly-Ann is stepping down as director. She has a door wide open here, however she wants to think about it as she moves her career. She came to us as a grad student, essentially, on a panel that I was on, and I saw her and I said, this woman is going places, and let's tap into her. and bring her on as a director without actually any experience, per se. And she's done a phenomenal job. So please give her a big round of applause for what a tremendous job she's done. And as a thank you, not just the flowers, which we should give you an Eden instead than the flowers, but that's going to have to, exactly. But also your away luggage as you travel and think through what your next steps are in your career. You know the door is always open here, and we're super excited to have you, and you'll be sorely missed. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Welcome. Enjoy the startups. I'm sorry? Applications are open for 8. Rima said applications are open for 8.